If I was on the front line, I would not be getting out the rule book. I can tell you that much. I'd be going mental.
Are you saying there should be some rules or no rules?
I mean, you've got to have some rules, otherwise it's just going to be like Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? I'm just going to go about battering everyone.
Yeah.
And you soon get bored of that. So I think you've got to have some rules.
Right.
Which rules would you repeal that already exist, that you don't like?
It's a shame you can't tip as much as you used to be able to.
You mean in a restaurant?
No, just when you're getting rid of a mattress or something.
So fly tipping, you'd like to see more fly tipping.
What do you mean? This is something so personal, he's fed up, he had to take something.
No, it's just that they used to put stuff outside the house, and just like you had mattresses, you had sideboards, sewing machines. The thing is, it was a good way of recycling. Now they say recycle, but we're not recycling. It's just being put in a bin.
So you'd like to see more fly tipping?
No, not you see.
That's all we need in London. More rubbish.
This is the problem. You see, look what's happened. Look what's happened to what I've said. It's been taken the wrong way.
Right.
I'm not saying tip. I'm not saying chuck your bin bags out the door and let crisp packets go everywhere. I'm saying if you've got old furniture, you should be allowed to leave it outside your house without the council going, move that, it's dangerous, someone's going to trip over it. Well, if they trip over it, you should have been looking where they're going.
Well, what if they're blind?
What?
What if they're blind? That's why you don't leave things out in the pavement, because blind people will fall over them and smack their face in.
What if a woman with a couple of kids in pushchairs has to go out into the road to get past your piece of junk?
And get crushed?
No, because I'm leaving it. I'm not leaving it on the pavement.
Well, you just said you were. Where are you leaving it?
Sort of outside the house.
Right.
In your front garden. Well, who's going to take it from there? That's just thieving.
No, sort of.
Where are you leaving it? Where are you leaving it, Carl? You haven't established where you're leaving this yet. Because so far, a blind person's fallen over and broken his nose.
I've never seen a blind person trip over anything.
You've never seen a blind person trip over anything?
Definitely not. They're better on the feet than some people because they're more cautious, aren't they?
So
make it more fun for them, if anything.
Why can't you just have this stuff collected by a second-hand shop or
because
send it to
they don't
a
come,
charity?
Steve. Honestly, they don't. I've called up people and they're saying, yeah, we'll be there in an hour. And I say, right, I'm going to put it out on the street and are you going to come and get it? Yeah, we'll be there. An hour passes by. They haven't been. Suddenly the council goes past.
On the floor, bloodied noses.
Then the council said, I call them up, do you want to shift it? Well, we might, but don't know when. Well, it's outside the house now. Well, you can't leave it there. It's your responsibility. You'll have to stay with it. Suddenly I'm wasting time sat outside the house with rubbish that someone else might want. But you're not allowed to leave there because a blind person might come along. What's the dog doing?
What do you make of St. George, the patron saint? What's your take on that?
Is he the one who killed a dragon?
Right. Tell us the story.
There was a dragon problem.
Where?
Must have been in England.
Right.
George took it on. He took on the job. He was like a rent-a-kill. He came out. The interesting thing with him is, right, he was a hero then. I honestly think if he did that now, there'd be an uproar. Because he's the last dragon. It's the same way we try to save the panda and all that now. If he came out and said, I've done it, and they've gone, done what? They've just killed the last dragon, they'd go mental. There'd be marches. Idiot, bloody idiot. And that's what's interesting.
But it was going around burning people.
Doesn't matter, we shouldn't have killed the last one. It's the last one. And that's what we'd be like. You say, you should have saved it, you should have captured it and put it in a cage so we can all look at it.
There's no point, it couldn't have bred anyway, it was the last one.
Was it definitely the last one?
Well, you were saying it was the last one, I'm not bothered either way.
Hang on, what?
To me,
Sorry,
hang on. Whoa.
So you think that there were dragons?
Well, what are we celebrating then?
Well, it could be a metaphor, a dragon slayer. It could be a bad thing amongst us. It could be a foreign threat. It could be things that threaten. It could be anything. It's not to be taken literally, is it?
The real legend of George was that he was a figure who stood up for Christianity. Have you ever done anything brave?
There was a kid at school who used to have epileptic fits a lot, and the teacher used to always say, if it happens, grab his tongue. And I sort of had a go at that once. His tongue.
His tongue?
Yeah.
What do you have a tongue for? To pick stuff up? What do you mean a tongue?
His tongue in his mouth.
Oh, his tongue.
Oh, his tongue. Yeah. Right, go on.
And they used to say, if he starts doing it, grab his tongue and that. And I sort of had a go at that once, and it was Wasn't nice.
Well, how'd you grab it? You grabbed his tongue, did you?
Well, I tried to. It's like grabbing a slug. And plus his mouth's going up and down, that you think he's going to have me hand here. So you sort of do that thing where you go...
So you were trying to grab hold of a kid's tongue, yeah? And he was...
He's throwing himself all over the place. It was in a physics lesson. I sort of had a go, and then I thought, this isn't happening. So I just sort of kept putting my hand in, like I'm having a go. But in my head, I was going, I'm not going to get hold of it.
What you could have used is a pair of tongs.
Well, firstly, I don't see why this is brave. Kids having an epileptic fit and you're just supposed to help them out. I don't know why that's bravery, but even given that, the fact that you were thinking more about yourself in that situation than this other kid. You were thinking, I'll make it look like I'm helping, but I'm not really. And yet this is kid having an epileptic fit.
I did at the beginning.
Doesn't that sum you up, Carl? Selfish.
No, it doesn't. Because no one else was having a go. At least I did try and grab it at one point.
You weren't doing anything. You were just making it look like you were.
Have you ever tried to grab a tongue? It's like chasing a chicken. It's murder. And after a while, it wears you out. And it was weird anyway, because it was like a...
What was he doing it for?
I don't know.
Wearing him out after hours of chasing this kid's tongue.
I love the idea. Have you ever tried grabbing a tongue? It's a valid question.
I love that he's annoyed. He's annoyed that this poor kid's having
what was your technique? Were you trying to grab it
just with your thumb and your finger, like a pincher thing?
Yeah.
But it was because his mouth's going down and.
Was he shouting or just?
No, just throwing himself around.
So that's your one attempt at bravery.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me just think.
Trying to grab a tongue.
There was a time you were chased by a bee and you scored a goal.
What about that?
That isn't really bravery, is it? As you were running away from a bee, and the ball happened to hit your foot and go in. Does that count as bravery? I love it when he goes up to the pearly gates and goes, "Well, have you done the act of courage?" I pretended to grab a tongue. A what? A tongue. Yeah. Got chased by a bee, scored a goal. It doesn't count as brave at all.
Well, what have you ever done?
Well, it's a good question.
I thought of some of them when I was a kid on the beach. There was a baby, like a toddler. I was about 12, and they were out. Their little boat was going out. The mother missed it, and they were miles out. And the mother was sort of distraught. And I swam out, and I was a good swimmer then. And I pulled it in, right? And she bought me a box of chocolates.
It's not enough, is it?
What?
It's not enough, a box of chocolates. I'd have been furious.
Really?
I'd have wanted a lot more.
I didn't expect anything.
No, it was like when I found that old lady's purse and I sent it back to her, and she sent me a little thank you note, but nothing. No cash, nothing. I was furious. I thought, come on, I could have kept that purse. I sent it back to you. I need more than a little thank you note.
I didn't expect anything. I was sort of, I wasn't even particularly proud of myself, because I just thought, well, I could just do it. I mean, if it happened now, I'd go, what's in it for me? I've just eaten.
Exactly.
I'd go, is that your kid? They're miles away. Yeah. I've got less brave. I'm not more scared of the world, yeah. The things I used to do, jump off sheds, I used to jump down flights of stairs to see if I could do it, walk along, all those things that kids do. And you lose your nerve, I think, apparently if you haven't bungee jumped by your 30, you never will.
Really?
Yeah, you sort of... I think it's a sensible gene kicks in.
I'm pretty sensible.
Yeah, you think, well, this is not worth dying for. Don't do it, you know.
Yeah.
I
think having glasses prevents me from doing a lot of things. No, seriously, because it's hard to be brave with glasses. Because if I stepped into the middle of a fight and there's people being bullied and I stepped in, my glasses come off, that's it. Now I'm just being bullied as well. But I'm also blind in this, so I'm just crawling. It's very hard to strike fear into your opponents when you're crawling around on the floor looking for your frames, going, don't tread lightly. That's 200 quid there.
Oh God, I love that when you took up judo and you think you overheard the judo instructor say, just knock his glasses off.
Just knock his glasses off.
But who are you, Woody Allen? What are you doing in this scenario? Why are you stepping into the dojo wearing a pair of glasses?
Well, how am I supposed to do judo without, where am I supposed to?
Well, they come off immediately.
But what am I supposed to do? Not do any form of martial art because of the glasses?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't thought about that.
Exactly. This is the problem, isn't it? People don't think that. You never see boxers with glasses.
Well, of course you don't.
Right, exactly. So I got no kind of athletic role models in that way, except Dennis Taylor.
Oh God, a man with glasses, me and my glasses.
It's to tell you this, I could write a book on the difficulties of having glasses.
But I suppose it's completely affected your life, hasn't it?
Of course it has.
Everything you do.
Of course it has. Absolutely. Fashion.
Yeah.
Sort of sport, dancing, moshing. Can't go in a mosh pit. Can't, I've always wanted to jump on the stage, take my shirt off and then jump back in and everyone catches you and they you sort of sway along on top of everyone's hands. Can't do it. The glasses would come flying off.
But how do you swim in the sea?
I'd have to hand them to the singer and then do it. I went to, I was in India recently, I went to Goa, and I got myself a pair of prescription goggles. Could not believe my luck. It's revolutionised my swimming experience.
Alright.
Goggles which have got the same lenses in as my glasses, so I can see alright.
That's good.
Went in there, literally, and they're pricey as well. Went in the water, within seconds, giant wave had come over, and it was crazy. It was like Rio all over again. It ripped off both my trunks and my goggles. They went flying off my head.
What?
Now, I can only grab one of them.
My trunks have never come off. Maybe once I've dived in, they come down a little bit.
They came loose, and they slipped down, thus revealing penis. Goggles came off.
I reckon you're like shorts man. I think you've been doing it on purpose.
You know how most swimmers...
Tie your shorts up, Steve. No, I'm just going to see. But what if they come off? If they come off, then you might see something.
You know how most swimming goggles would float? Yeah. My prescription is so dense that they just sunk straight to the bottom.
If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. There shall be in that rich earth a richer dust concealed, a dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam, a body of England's breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by sons of home. And think this heart, all evil shed away, a pulse in the eternal mind no less, gives somewhere back the thoughts, by England given, her sights and sounds, dreams happy as her day, and laughter, learnt of friends and gentleness, in hearts at peace, under an English heaven. Rupert Brooke, The Soldier. What an amazing poem that is.
Yeah. It's a shame you read it, though.